Hello guys, just before we start this video, I would like to announce several few disclaimers and updates. First of all, I know it's been quite some time since I uploaded a new video, but that's because I was one, busy with work like I mentioned in my last video, and two, I was also going through it emotionally at the time for personal reasons, which I will not explain right now. Second of all, the theory that you're about to hear is not really my own original idea. This theory came from another YouTuber called Who Is Get It, who made a similar theory like this a long time ago. So this theory it kind of took inspiration from it, but added modern elements and modern context, so you could all understand it better, and so I can fit it into this story. And third, I know I stutter a lot in this video. I know I stutter a lot. That's because I did a really poor job of editing this video. I did a really poor job, but I will still put words and images on screen so you can definitely understand what I'm talking about. That's all I wanted to mention before we start this video. Now, without further ado, I hope you enjoyed the video and have a nice day. Hello guys, Kaiser here. After my recent disaster of trying to expose two very big Gouda channels, which you should totally check out by the way. Yeah, anyways, I've decided to turn to what I do best, making dumb theories, and in today's dumb theory, I've decided to tackle something more complicated than a show's plagiarism. Today, I've decided to tackle the Sonic timeline. Today, we'll be discussing what if Classic Tales is dead after Sonic Generations. Now, this will not be an easy theory to make due to one tweet from Sega stating that everything is canon, which makes the Sonic canon a lot more confusing because now there is multiple timelines, universes, etc. I'll try my best to explain it in a way that is simple and easy to follow. Just a quick disclaimer, I will be using the retcon explanation of Sonic X Shadow Generations to explain my theory for two reasons. One, the story does much better job explaining dimension hopping and time travel compared to the original. Second, the context and the nature of Classic Sonic's existence is better explained in this story rather than the original, and that will be all for now. The first question that we gotta ask ourselves, does the Sonic universe acknowledge death? Considering that Ian Flynn is the main writer of the Sonic series, and the fact that Sega acknowledged that Sonic IDW comics are canon to the Sonic universe, and we know for a fact that multiple characters in the Sonic IDW comics never appeared again, it is safe to assume that death is acknowledged in the Sonic universe. Now that we address that, the first issue that we have to address is what is Classic Sonic to the Sonic universe. Beings from other dimensions are nothing new to the Sonic universe. They are characters like Blaze, who is stated to be from a different dimension, and Silver, who is from the future. In the new retcon of Sonic X Shadow Generations, it is stated that Classic Sonic is from a different dimension. If that is the case, then from what dimension is Classic Sonic? I think I have the answer. What if Classic Sonic is not from the Genesis games, but rather the Game Gear games? This makes the most sense in my eyes for several reasons. One, continuity. If Classic Sonic is from the Genesis games, that creates a whole bunch of continuity problems. For one, the fact that Classic Knuckles was never mentioned or referenced in any way proves that the events of Sonic 3 never happened, and thus, by this game's logic, the events of Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 didn't happen, which doesn't make any sense because of another reason I'm about to list in a second. And the second reason is the fact that Fang got referenced in his game, and he was it was a major antagonist in the Game Gear games, further proving my point. And third and final reason is that somehow, without the events of Sonic 3, Sonic Adventure happening, Ian and modern Sonic are somehow the same age, which is weird. There is a third and final issue. How does Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces fit into this theory? First of all, we have to figure out where does Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces fit into the timeline. Now the widely agreed upon narrative is that Sonic Mania somehow takes place after Sonic Forces, and it makes sense to some extent. I mean the Phantom Rubies in the game, it appears to have the same powers as in the Forces games, and the game was released after Sonic Forces. But I have doubts about this placement. For one, Sonic Forces clearly states that Eggman created the Phantom Ruby, and that he already has it in his possession. Sonic Mania's opening cutscene, it is shown from the ground. It is shoved up from the ground. Second, it is never explained what kind of Phantom Ruby is it. Like if it's a prototype. Plus, at the end of Sonic Forces, the Phantom Ruby is destroyed. So meaning this can't take place after. It has to take place before. And I have an interesting proposal. What if Sonic Mania is a direct expansion to the Sonic Game Gear games? Or even crazier, what if Sonic Mania is a prequel to Sonic Generations? It does make sense. While we know is the time either is a creation of Eggman, we are never told how it operates, and the fact that time either is also never referenced after Sonic Generations proves my point. Remember, Phantom Ruby has the ability to distort dimensions and create optical illusions that are indistinguishable from reality. So it's not too far-fetched to assume that classic Eggman found the Phantom Ruby, got transported to the canon timeline, and then teamed up with Eggman to wreak havoc. But Sonic and his friends managed to stop him. After everyone got transported to the correct timeline, Robotnik also got transported and took the Phantom Ruby with him. And this is the point of the story where we take zombies from another game, that being the game Sonic 2 on the Game Gear. And the story of that game is that Robotnik captured Tails and it's up to Sonic to save him. But this is where our story takes us to our turn. Classic Sonic fails to collect the Chaos Emeralds, and Eggman kills Tails. This makes Sonic mad, and in sheer anger kills Robotnik. Thus, the bad ending of Sonic 2 plays like normal. But as we all know, the Phantom Ruby is still in effect. After the tragic ending, Classic Sonic is transported to the canon timeline. Now we are at the events of Sonic Forces, more specifically the cutscene where Tails repairs Omega. Now this scene does two different things. One, it completely kills Tails' character, and two, adds to our theory. Think about it. Who does Classic Sonic save first? That's right, Tails. After Sonic Forces, no other classic character is referenced in official media outside official art, and that's it. What I've told you just now, it is a tragic story. It's a tragic story happening in the background. A story we didn't even notice. Now I know for a fact that this theory sounds far-fetched, and to be fair, this theory might be debunked immediately. Either by Sega or by Ian Flynn. This theory will be used hopefully to give additional context to the stories, just to make them a little better. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye everyone.